Hello, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to more Fortnite news. I hope you guys all enjoy. And if you're wondering, yes, the rumors are true, guys. Ninja will be releasing an album actually last week before Thanksgiving break. It was the day I did leave where he did announce his new album, guys. It's going to be called NinjaWerks. And if you guys were also wondering, yes, of course, I've already pre-ordered the album. It's going to be a digital album to start, apparently only $10. Or on top of that, if you guys want a $35 t-shirt or a $40 piece of paper, it's your option. And I, of course, had to take the deal. That's a pretty good deal, guys. No, I'm not really sure how many songs are on there. It will be released, though, December 14th, and it's only a $10 digital album. I think probably, we can assume probably going to be some EDM type stuff. He has many connections in the music scene. I don't think he's going to pull a Drake and start rapping words out there, but you guys can leave a comment down below what you think about this. I think there's mixed opinions. Of course, if it is terrible, it's going to be a big bite in the butt for any esports people out there who want to try and enter the music industry in the future, but I think it's definitely creative. It could be cool, and with Ninja doing it, you got to assume it's probably going to be pretty awesome to most people out there. Now, if he does drop any words in there and he actually, you know, starts rapping or singing, I would be very surprised. But you guys can, of course, leave a comment down below what you think is going to happen. I think it's going to be, you know, the that kind of stuff, maybe some club music, but we could be wrong. So I'm very excited to see what actually happens. And of course, if you guys do follow the channel very closely, we have a series on here called the Try Hard Guys, where everyone here in the office and on the esports team actually does some things together. We have one episode so far. We tried gaming supplements. Episode 2, though, we're going to react to Ninja's album of music. And up next in the news, guys, we knew this would be an issue. If I can call it, any of you can call it, okay? And this was very, very obvious. Of course, I'm talking about Winter Royale Qualifiers, the entire Winter Royale, the $1 million event for both EU as well as North America combined. So it's going to be confirmed, guys. $500,000 does go to EU, $500,000 goes to NA. We knew with that much money on the line, and online qualifiers and an online tournament all around, even the finals are going to be online, we knew it was so obvious that, of course, there would be cheaters, and I made sure to reassure you guys and kind of just comment, if there was no anti-cheat in place, well, we're gonna run into some big issues, because most esports out there do not have this much prize pool money on the line open to the public and not expecting people to actually cheat. Now, Tfue was one of many people out there running into stream snipers. Along with that, of course, aim bots of the sorts. A lot of accusations out there because it is so hard to prove, although with Tfue's case, it was a direct POV evidence of a person in fatal fields in the corn stalks firing right at his location. Of course, you guys know that blocks both-way vision. Tfue couldn't see him. He was not shooting back anyway, but the player who could, of course, not see Tfue was had apparently a direct line of sight, eventually actually killing him. Tfue did actually end this Winter Royale Qualifiers, guys, 1 point short of qualifying that top 200 spot, and there were many players out there, either close calls or did not make it all together. It was actually kind of astounding to see a list of EU players as well as North America players. Of course, you guys know North America, for me at least, is a lot easier to follow. I know a lot more North American players, but all in all, it was a huge flop in my opinion, guys. Winter Royale Qualifiers were absolutely atrocious to watch, and in some cases, we saw a lot of people out there, especially streamers and semi-pro and pro players, I'm not going to name any names, get very upset at this, and I don't really blame them whatsoever. It seemed that Epic apparently did not expect this kind of thing, which it seems pretty obvious to expect.
I've never hated playing this game so much, dude. I think that's why I have so many viewers today, bro. People like to see me miserable.
But don't get me wrong, guys. Again, I know I talk a lot of trash or downgrade Epic quite a bit, but what they do is amazing. We've seen a lot of great updates, a lot of, you know, opposite of great updates, but still, this is a great thing. We're going to see a lot of people out there that we've never seen before. You scroll through the list of 200 European players, 200 North American players. There are plenty of names where you just have no clue who they are, but on top of that, you're missing, you know, 2 of the top 5 North American players, probably 4 of the top 10 players, you know, depending on how you want to look at that. And EU, you're missing a lot of names over there. I know Skype and Issa and Mitro obviously made it, but for North America especially, no Nate Hill, no Tfue, no NinjaWerks, guys. On top of that, though, you have Poach making it by 10 spots. He was 190th place of 200. He actually qualified by 1 point. We had Myth qualify. We had Ninja qualify. Dr. Lupo, unfortunately enough, we'll talk about him tomorrow, guys. He failed to qualify. Wasn't necessarily expected, but still, you have big names. Like I said before, probably 3 of the top 10 players in NinjaWerks, Tfue, and of course, Nate Hill not qualifying, which is pretty shocking. Now, I'm not saying that's the format's fault. I'm not saying they were all stream sniped, they were all cheated against, but when you have an open qualifier like this, there likely were plenty of cheaters, and I'm very curious to see when we go to these LAN finals. Of course, they will be online as well. Where is it going to be in terms of anti-cheat? Will they catch these players? Will some players have snuck through uncaught? Because as of right now, it's not like a game like CSGO where you have an in-game anti-cheat actually defined as what they call VAC, right? You're not seeing players being being vac. You're not seeing players really being caught unless they're being reported for it. And in terms of Tfue's case, there's not a lot of evidence besides, you know, his case where you saw the POV. There's a lot of cases out there where you're not going to see direct evidence, or, you know, a lot of it's going to be circumstantial where you cannot ban these players. So we're going to be very interesting to see how Epic does respond, guys, when it comes to the LAN finals out there. There will be 200 North American players, 200 European players, all competing for $500,000 total in prize pool earnings, and a lot of the players you guys know and love unfortunately will not be there this time around. And also, very lastly, in today's Fortnite news, of course, our latest patch goes live this morning, guys, leaving us all, myself included, with mixed feelings out there. I think there were many people who actually thought that a few things would happen that did not, of course, happen. I think, first of all, Dynamite might need a reduction in radius or overall damage to builds and structures. That's my own opinion. It still seems to be very powerful. I think it can be a very useful, both competitively and casually, explode, but I think it needs some adjustment still. I thought that might be done actually this patch. We can wait for that in the future. And with that, I still think glider redeploy will be added back. It actually was not during this patch. And very lastly as well, kind of a notable one that people thought would be gone is now mounted turrets receiving its fourth, I meant that, yeah, now our fourth or fifth nerf. It's actually hard to keep track. If you guys remember when they were first added about 2 weeks ago, around that time, they were actually almost instantly nerfed in both their mounted health as well as their floor health. After that, guys, they actually reduced the time to overheat. It was also a reduction in their spawn rate, and now a 4/5th nerf in this latest patch, guys. Another reduction in spawn rate, so you should really rarely see these things around the map anymore. You'll see maybe 1 or 2 a game if you're so unlucky to actually to run into them. On top of that, though, some other nerfs around it to actually make it easier to shoot all the people who actually occupy those turrets. The 4/5th nerf to a weapon that I think most people agree does not belong in the game, but Epic does not want to waste those man hours as they keep the mounted turret in the game. But I will say congratulations and great job, Epic. Although unfortunately enough, the pump shotgun timer is still in the game, I will say a great buff to shotguns has now come out, along with a brand new epic and legendary pump shotgun. If you guys have seen this so far, it does seem to be, as expected with new epic updates, guys, very, very powerful. A lot like the double barrel when it first came out, guys. Some one-shot potential, especially close up in personal range. It does 105, 110 base damage to the body, and it does some pretty crazy crits and headshot damage as well. So pretty crazy to see. Alongside that, guys, the buff is now active for all shotguns out there, as well as a slight buff to pump shotguns that we knew before this new one, guys. The first one, pump shotguns, now have increased base damage. Along with that, though, kind of to halfway negate that will be increased fall off damage. So when you're falling away from an enemy, you know, when you used to hit 7s and 8s, as long as you hit 1 pellet, though, there will be the new baseline damage for all shotguns. A huge buff around the board, which I think it might be a bit too strong. We'll see how it actually affects the gameplay, guys. What used to be a 7 and 8 will now be a 21-24 minimum damage of 3 pellets. So you land 1 or 2 pellets and you will do 3 pellet minimum damage, which I must restate, this is a very, very big buff. We'll see how it plays out. So as per usual, when we talk about Fortnite updates, guys, I think it's a move in the right direction. Slow but steady, guys. We pace ourselves in the right direction. Kind of a quick recap, of course, I did buy Ninja's album. I cannot wait to actually react to that. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys spent the $10 to actually buy his album. Again, I'm super excited to see how it actually turns out. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I think with his connections, it should be some bump in music. On top of that, of course, the whole Winter Royale qualifiers, we saw many cheaters out there, many stream snipers, and again, many controversy around the competitive nature of this game. I think it's a great thing to see a lot of open competitors out there compete in these open events and see some brand new faces. But when you also see your top performers not actually qualifying, there must be something wrong or something to change about that format. But again, it's great to see new faces, and I'm sure those guys will get over it eventually. But I do feel for them a little bit. Now, of course, very lastly, guys, updates. They're going in the right direction. I do believe glider redeploy should still be re-added. Mounted turret should go. I want to see some dynamite fixes, but again, the pump shotgun buff was certainly needed, but the timer is still in the game. As always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoy. I'll see you back here tomorrow, guys, as we talk about the one, the only Dr. Lupo. See you guys then.